Welcome again to the program after the break. Now, I was just discussing the list of 200 people which was released inadvertently by Kweku Adiboli, a person heading Delta One in the UBS in Switzerland. So that list contained 38 Pakistani businessmen, bureaucrats, and politicians. The names I mentioned, the Zardaris, and Rahman Malik. No, he is a character that requires more investigation. He remained the Home Minister of Pakistan, the Interior Minister of Pakistan, in charge of the FIA and the police and the other federal authorities. This man must be investigated. He must be handed over to a strong investigating policeman to take the truth, because he was the guy who was dealing with Delta One, transferring huge monies, huge sums from the Hajj ministry in Pakistan. They swindled the funds from there, from NHA, National Highway Authority, through Junaid, who was the chairman, and Shakil Durrani when he was the chairman of WAPDA, and people from OGDC, people from from PIA. So this guy was collecting money and was transferring electronically using the Delta One facilities in Zardari's accounts, offshore accounts. So this man is more interesting case than the Sharif brothers. I know this guy, Rahman Malik, from 2003 when he was running a spurious business of oil for food. He used to sit on A406 in a plaza, Crown Plaza hotel, and he had hired a building and he was doing that dodgy business, oil for food. And there are so many scandals about that, and this is not in the scope of today because I have to cover so many other things. So Rahman Malik is a big fish. He must be investigated. Not only the Sharif brother, this guy should also come in the net. Now, but why the case is so interesting about the Sharif brothers? Sharif brothers are the rare political leaders who have become astronomically rich within the last 3 decades, last 30 years. Look at two extremes. The country they have ruled for the last 30 years has been going poor and poor and poor. The people have been going poor, poor, and poor. But these Sharif brothers have become rich and rich and rich. So what special tricks of the trade they have, that all the businesses in the world, they have the turbulent times. They have tempestuous phases in the business, in the running of business. But these people, they never had any loss in there. I have got a caller online and then I'll carry on. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Yes, please.
We are, like you said, we always ask, theoretical questions from these politicians, but we need to do some actions now. So we should start a movement which can, we should do something practically against these rulers, because there is no point just, because like you said, Pakistan is a money-making industry for these politicians. If the foundation of something, like they say, is democracy, but is hypocrisy. And if the foundation is weak, how you can build something on that foundation? Like these fake politicians and their fake policies, and their fake propaganda is, pursued by our fake journalists. Like they work for them. It's always, their double standards are always undermined by these journalists. They always say, oh, it's democracy, we should sacrifice everything for the democracy, but they never say to these politicians that they should sacrifice for the country, or they should put pressure on them that they bring few politicians and from morning till evening They fight with each other, and there is no source of information. We don't get anything from them.
Thank you very much,
And,
sister. Thank you very much. I've got your point. Thank you. Thanks for calling, and you got a very valid and very precise point of view, and I really appreciate that. Now, I was discussing that these Sharif brothers and their children look at Hussain Nawaz, Hassan Nawaz. I've got respect for them. They look like autistic young men having autism, but they are so clever. They've got some sort of Midas touch, that anything they touch that turns into gold. Interestingly, look at that ironical figures. The year 2007, 8 and 9 were the recession years, even in Western Europe, even in North America. People were struggling. Dozens of businesses were being busted every day. But even in that period, 2007, 8 and 9, these two children, these two autistic looking Hassan and Hussain Nawaz, they thrived, and their businesses, they grew like the nose of Pinocchio. How on earth that is possible? So that is worth investigation, thorough investigation. But ironically, no department, I accentuate, no department in Pakistan, no institution in Pakistan has the capacity, smart capacity, to investigate white collar crimes. So I don't think so any investigation about these people, these Sharif brothers and their autistic children will have any dividend to the public. They will get away with it even this time. They might be preparing a case in UK courts with consultation of a leading legal firm. They might get a decree from a local UK court, and that decree should say them, okay, since their names appeared only having offshore accounts, so they should not have a media trial over here. Now about 6-7 television channels from Pakistan, they have their services, they're being shown here, they have got their offices, they're doing excellent job in the UK also by bringing to the public all these corruption tales of these Sharif brothers. But if the Sharif brothers, they succeed in obtaining a decree from a UK court, on the basis of that, the culprits, the legal attorneys, their advisors in Lahore and in Islamabad, they might move to the Islamabad High Court or Supreme Court that, look, we have got this decree over there in the UK, so their media trial should be stopped over there, has been stopped, why don't you take the precedent? So that is the precedent. On the basis of that, tell all the television channels to stop the media trials of Sharif brothers. So there is a possibility of that. These people are crooks. These people are much more cunning and treacherous than an average solicitor or an investigator, public prosecutor, investigator dealing with white collar crimes. We don't have capacity of that in Pakistan. FIA, NAB and other institutions, they don't have capacity. I can vouch for my words. They don't have capacity. We've got a caller on line. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Dr. Shahid Rafiq speaking from Berkshire.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Dr. Saab, nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, I think this is really the burning topic at the moment actually, and the corruption of our so-called rulers is as clear as the day now, even to the common persons. Irony is that, I mean, the Darbari ministers of Sharifs, they are trying to sort of give clarification and counter-attacking the other political leaders as if all of this has been something which has been done by them, though it is not done by any Imrans or any other sort of political party in Pakistan. But I mean, they are, instead of giving any clarification, are leaving it to Sharifs, because this is a personal thing, to clarify the thing and give any justification of whatever they have invested illegally outside the country. These Dabari, I would say, I can't say any unparliamentary word for them, though they deserve, I mean, whatever bad word you can use for them. They are trying to protect their so-called leader in such an illogical way. my point is that, I mean, at the moment, you are hearing only one strong voice against all of these things, that is Imran Khan. Why I think our general public, if Imran is saying that he is going to rival and protest, it should not be one party. It should be unanimous, just like in other countries. It is not any political party which has turned against. This is the common people. They just basically turned against those people, the rulers, and made them resign, like in Iceland. So I think I wish Pakistani people, all of them, they are so clear on this thing that they should just basically unanimously try to get rid of all of these corrupt leaders. And I mean, this is probably high time that everybody should be unanimous in doing this, I would say, cleansing work in our politics.
Thank you very much for your comment. Now, this was Dr. Shahid Rafiq, a leading cardiologist living in Ascot, and his reading of international relations, current affairs, is really very, very current. He reads almost all the newspapers of Pakistan every day. So in addition to his own professional knowledge, he has got a voracious study on the day-to-day basis on the current affairs, not only in Pakistan, but I enjoy his company whenever we meet. So a wonderful comment by him, and I appreciate his participation to the program. Now, I always say to the people that look at this gentleman called Nawaz Sharif. He's so possessive. He's such a childish, possessive guy with childish nature that he has named the political party he's ruling by his own name. Political parties are named by yourself when you die. It's a posthumous a tribute to you. When, let's say, when Ben died, the great labor from a leading Wedgwood crockery industry. So when he died, his son is there as Hilary Benn. Now, even after 50 years of serving as a parliamentarian, the Labour Party never had the courage to name the party as Labour Party Ben, Labour Party Tony Blair, or Labour Party James Callaghan, Labour Party Neil Kinnock. No, it only happens in a country like Pakistan. So look at him, he's just a child, he's a baby. He's playing with Toys R Us sort of toy, and the name of that toy is Pakistan Muslim League N. He rules with that party, and all these Rottweilers, these pit bulls like Daniel Aziz, like Saad Rafiq, like Pervez Rashid, all these people, they sing his praises, they extol him, they defend his black acts like attack dogs, and they defend him on all the forums. And this man is running a party under his name, Muslim League N. Look at that. Is that a national party? So by N, should we call the followers like nincompoops, Muslim League nincompoops? So first of all, look at him, how possessive he is. A man, he must consult a psychiatrist. He's a psychotic. That he is naming a political party he's ruling by his own name. What a shame. And these people are voting for him. And these people, they join his cabinet. There are reports that how they became rich is another interesting investigation. They became rich from, it's normally said that if you have thousands of dollars, you need to protect them. But if you have millions of dollars, they will protect you. So they realized that by end of 1980s, that they need millions of dollars and even billions of dollars that will vouch, that will safeguard their all evil acts, running politics as industry. So they closed down Ittifaq industry and they created politics, PMLN, as industry. They did not invest anything in that. So interestingly, they became rich in the decade of 1990s. In the first phase from 1990 to 1993, in these 2.5 years, they accumulated, they privatized about 43 national enterprises, and they gave to their own cronies like Manshas and other people, Tawakkul Group and many others, the Jamal Group and many others. So these people got these state enterprises, and on the back door, the Sharif brothers, they got the kickbacks. So they they earned about $2 billion only in these 2.5 years. And then came their second stint of 1990s, 1997 to 1999, 2.5 years again. And during that time, they earned even twice as much. So by the time General Pervez Musharraf sacked their underperforming, underachieving so-called democratic government on 12th October 1999, the Sharif brothers had already earned through this dodgy political industry more than $5 billion. I mean, I'm witness to it. I have been visiting them in Surur Palace in Ruwais in Jeddah frequently. When I visited them in 2003, their older son Hussein Nawaz, he boasted that they have the Azizia steel. They bought Azizia steel in Jeddah for $750 million. And then he said that he is also the proprietor and owner of about 40 supermarkets, big supermarkets in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh and Jeddah, called the Danoobs. So they were billionaires already when Musharraf overthrew them. Had they ruled for another 5 years or so, they would have been trillionaires. And Pakistan, half of the population of Pakistan would have looked like the Cholistan, the people in Cholistan desert. Malnutrition, disease, sickness, unemployment would have been the total destiny of the Pakistani nation had they continued beyond October 1999. And they are doing it now. So the agenda they could not fulfill in the late 1990s, they have picked up from they left in October 1999. So they are doing that. What we need is that in 1996, it also reminds me, Hussein Nawaz was at London School of Economics doing his degree. He supported an Indian student contesting for the election of the student union head for London School of Economics. He supported that candidate, and in turn, when these people got exile and they came to Surur Palace in Jeddah, so from one palace to another palace in Jeddah, so these people, they approached the family and friends of that guy. Hussein Nawaz supported her in the LSE student union elections. I'm witness to that. And then here they got into the business families of New Delhi and Bangalore. They invested there. And today they have investment in excess of $1 billion in India. So I always say that why not we make a proper formal petition through our High Commissioner in New Delhi that please write to Modi and other people in the Planning Commission of India. Ahluwalia is a big financial visit of India. So we need to approach him that please, for God's sake, we are happy to sell these as commodities, the Sharif brothers, Rahman Malik and Zardari. Buy them forever and pay us in easy installments. Pay us in 100 years, pay us in 200 years. But for God's sake, these are the only products we can export at the moment. The Sharif brothers, Rahman Malik and Zardari, please take them, and we don't need them here. Give us good politicians from there. I mean, I always have the data with me ready that only in the last 10 years, more than 200 Pakistanis, they have bought the properties in the UK. Politicians, the members of the National Assembly, the members of the Senate, they have their properties in London, in Birmingham, in Manchester. The residential properties, the commercial properties, they have here. And when we compare them with the Indian members of the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, we have got only 20 to 25 people who have got their properties here in the last 20 years. So compare a nation of 1.2 billion people having not more than 30 politicians having properties in the UK, and the nation of just 200 million people having more than 200 politicians who have bought their properties in London. So these are the data. This is the data. These are the statistics. They should be taken into account. We say that, people say that, okay, where are the evidences? Go to the internet and make a meticulous study. Make a forensic study. Sit down on the internet, on the media, and look at that. You will find scores of certified documents on the internet that prove that these people are corrupt. They have no right to rule the simple masses of Pakistan. Now, interestingly, in 2003, Hassan Nawaz, the younger brother of Nawaz Sharif, he set up flagship holding company, flagship enterprises. And more than 24 companies of the same names, they appeared and they were busted because they evaded taxes in this country here as well. They changed the companies, they changed the proprietorship, they changed the directors. And in 2003, 4, 5, this was the job they were doing here. But the thing is, ironically, I always say, I emphasize on that. These children, they look like autistic. The way they speak, they can't even speak. How clever they are. They're running the business of billions of dollars. We got another caller online. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. I just want to discuss one point if you have time, please.
Yeah, please go on.
They want to, your topic is really, really good, and you always bring good topics. But they take money from one shore of the world to another shore of the world, heaps of money around the world. But in Pakistan, people are dying with hunger. They don't have food for 2 times, 3 times meal in their plate. How disgusting is this, and it makes you sick, the way they deal with Pakistan. Now we should do something, and they always accuse and abuse Pakistan army. Now the whole world is watching why they kicked them out of the parliament.
Thank you very much for your comment again. Now, the best way forward is that you and I, we are condemning them. We are lambasting them. But there are people who give them red carpet reception at Heathrow Airport when they come here. What an irony, they come to beg from DFID Secretary Justine Greening the DFID funds, DFID donations, and they drive, the Prime Minister of Pakistan drives the Bentley car when he's going to grab that money, take that money from the Secretary of State for DFID. And the Secretary of State for DFID, Justine Greening, she is driving an £18,000 worth Ford Mondeo. So the one who is giving funds has got a very simple lifestyle, and the one who is getting the funds, he has got imperious lifestyle, like King Abdullah, like King Salman of Saudi Arabia. Let me give you some more, very quickly, some points that they handpick the criminals, the fraudsters, and they give them projects worth hundreds of billions of rupees. Look at the people like Hanif Abbasi, Shujaat Asim, Rana Sanaullah, Rana Mashood, Tawqir Shah, and others. They have been killing people in cold blood. They have been responsible for the massacre of innocent people in Model Town, and they got away with it. So, how on earth? There's no capacity that any institution in Pakistan can prosecute them, because the judges we have with the people with service of 10 to 15 years of prosecutorial training and the time they spent as lawyers in the lower courts, they were picked up and they were elevated and they were made judges. So how those judges will prosecute them? How they will punish them? Even if the evidence is there, stay orders. And look at the DMG and the police service of Pakistan. They say yes to them. Now, there was a time when we had in 1980s and 1990s, there were certain DMG officers, federal secretaries, and police chiefs, senior police officers, senior DIGs, additional IGs and IGs. They could say no to them, but not anymore. An IG is behaving to them on his orders, on the orders of Sharifs. The IG is behaving like a muharrir, like a sub-inspector. And the chief secretary and the federal secretaries, they are behaving like patwaris. So these kings, these royal families, they must declare Pakistan a monarchy. if the people, they don't come onto the street peacefully, they ask them how they got that money from. Compare their lifestyle 30 years ago and today, and you will find the evidence. Where did they get that money from? It's very easy. During the past 30 months, they have printed paper currency in the range of 1,500 billion of rupees, which is about $14 billion. Half of that was given to the friends under the garb of circular debts, and half of that was given to different projects. What a shame. There is no accountability. They have borrowed since July 2013 more than $10 billion in different forms, different institutions, IMF, World Bank, Asian Development Banks, donations from Friends of Pakistan, from DFID, and their lifestyle. So the reasonable big percentage of these funds which are there for the nation, for the Pakistani nation, they are coming into their personal pockets. Currently, there is a list of 42 all Pakistan Unified Group Service people, like the senior people in 20, grade 20 and beyond, DMG and police officers. 42 of them, they are without a reasonable, decent posting for the last 3 years. They are languishing towards the last leg of their services. No posting, OSDs, because they will not say yes to each and everything they say. Now, the question is, what must be done? I would appeal the patriotic lawyers and attorneys that please think beyond your personal interests. File cases against them in the courts. Keep them like a cat on a hot tin roof. Keep them busy, keep them guessing. Keep them in problem. And also, I'll ask the patriotic Pakistanis living in this country, the attorneys, the solicitors, that please file cases against them in Serious Fraud Office. Serious Fraud Office must investigate them, because NAB, FIA, they do not have capacity to prosecute, investigate them. SFO can do that, Serious Fraud Office. That these people brought the money here. Now they are the owners of so many buildings on the Regent Street in central London. Where that money came from. Now, but again, the more flexible our courts are, the more flexible our legal system is, the more problems of these people. I don't think so. The Sharif brothers, Zardari and Rahman Malik, they have learnt any lessons from Louis XVI. He carried on with the lavish lifestyle along with his wife, Marie Antoinette. But when the time came, when the French Revolution came, when the bloody French Revolution came, every member of his family, they were killed, guillotined. So they haven't learnt any lessons from there. Sharifs are not that powerful as Louis XVI was. The second example is Tsar Nicholas II, 1918, not very far, about 98 years ago. Nobody could catch him. He was autocratic, dictatorial ruler. But when the people, they rose against him, the proletariat class, the kulaks, and they killed each and every member of his family. I would like to end my program that corruption is one thing, they might get away with it. But when it comes to the murders, the massacre of model town innocent people, they will have to be accountable in this world. What I'm seeing is the ropes are being manufactured, the ropes are being created and prepared to fit around their necks, the necks of all responsible for killing these innocent people. It reminds me of a Spanish proverb that the ground where blood is, where human, I say it again, the ground where human blood is spilt, the tree of forgetfulness never grows. A day will come when these people will be at the gallows. The Sharif family and all those people who were involved in the killings, brutal killings of Model Town, innocent people in June 2013. With that, I conclude my program. I'll come with another topic next Monday, another program, another topic. Till then, Khud Hafiz.